struggle the fight. We shine a light in the darkest night, because we believe in hard work and faith to Sierra Leone way. We hold the line, come what may.
Them won't set we more them, but we go shout. Now the poor man voice we they bring out.
Now we alright for know the truth. Now that make we go protect the truth.
You dey listen to Truth Radio 103.9 FM, live from Freetown. That's who the last.
This is Truth Radio on 103.9 FM, a new wave of radio listening in Sierra Leone. Stay tuned.
And Cabo, welcome to the second edition of Truth Evening for the week. And also, we not will forget for which we viewers and listeners, we Muslim viewers and listeners, of course, Juma Ramadan Mubarak. And also, I want for telling us, it's been a while. We are coming on our screen, and hopefully today we get a very interesting conversation. As always, say, na yadi inform, na yadi educate, na yadi entertain, and most importantly, na you get the first-hand gist. Don't forget, say, you get we on Truth FM 103.9, and self, you get we now social media handle them on Facebook, Truth Media, and on YouTube, Truth Media SL. So as always, we get an interesting conversation where youth focus, obviously, as the constitutional amendment bill, they go on na parliament, and there have been lots of conversations and dialogues surrounding the bill. Waiting Sierra Leone want in the amendment of the 1991 constitution. So weeks ago, Parliament put out a statement where call out Sierra Leoneans in general for send to Parliament a position paper. What did they think say for be change na the list of things the way the government don't propose before Parliament, and waiting at the position of Sierra Leoneans them, and currently Sierra Leoneans them don't send them position papers them na Parliament. And today we get an interesting conversation we centered around youth, young people, as young people make up the largest population. And not only young people make up the largest population, young people then are the highest voters in terms of elections. So the topic today now youth inclusion in politics, a focus on the proposed age requirement for the office of the presidency. It's so important. And we get a renowned, or I would say we get a young lawyer here, we renowned in terms of knowledge. We don't send a position paper to Parliament. We go take we through the conversation on this interesting topic. We are no less a person but Musa Pius Sise, we are a lawyer and founder of Behind Bars Brighter Futures. And it can take we through this conversation. Look on Packer. Waiting at the age requirement where we think say the 1991 amendment constitution forget we go include young people then participation. So we go say welcome Musa to the to Truth Evening.
Thank you very much. Fambulem, una good evening, una do.
Thank you very much, Musa, for joining me in the studios. So as always, we go out and we ask young people in the street of Freetown and across Sierra Leone for no their own views, their own position in terms of waiting and go want in terms of political participation, specifically for vie for the office of the presidency. Low hear them and we'll come back and get the conversation.
Yes, I definitely think the age bracket for the presidential candidacy, if will be reduced, definitely will be reduced, because see from the day of the perception that when somebody don't reach their age then 40, he is supposed to be more mature, reasonable, disciplined, and responsible. But it's not always the case. We see people already in their 20s where they exhibit their qualities and they sometimes even much more than the one that we don't pass or we just reach 40 self. So age as time don't show, it's nothing much more than a number without intending to sound cliche. But it's the capabilities of the person, the performance of the person, the patriotic nature of the person, the selfless nature of the person, the wisdom of the person. And I don't think I don't personally think those things are determined by age. So if we move forward as a people, we therefore consider reviewing all those traditional legal provisions and make them be progressive and able to address emerging and prevalent issues.
Indeed, Parliament then therefore look into that. Yeah, because there are lots of potential youth then get the zest for take up the leadermanship for lead the country. And I believe we say it's high time the constitutional amendment get for revert and amend that particular clause in that section there. Yeah, we then put the youth bracket from 35 to 40 years then for reduce and the youth then get all what it takes, the potential for take up the presidential seats. Yeah,
parliaments for review the constitution back for reduce the age for being president, because we did see a lot of the age from 30 to 35, they are very, very potential and can get the country at mind. They are very potential of doing things, because when you look at from 40 and above, then just get self-centered minded for reach themselves, their families, their relatives among them. But from 30 to 35, those age, go think about the youths. Go say, yeah, I'm still in at the youth age. And if fuck out, the youths are on board. Because if the age of 35 be a vice, I go listen somebody from the age of 30, 31, 32, 30 to 35, waiting the person to go through at the country, the opinions.
I don't think Parliament for reduce the age bracket or age limit for somebody for become a president from 40 to 35. I don't think so, because at age 35 in this part of the world, I don't think the person could don't get prerequisite knowledge in terms of governance for make able to take such mantle. For be a president, na my own understanding and in my mind, I believe after a professional discipline, after your career, or if you happen to say you go university, after university studies, college, whatever training, you get to go through apprenticeship, like you get to spend some years in that field, really working for people or land. Then if you join governance, you have to serve in a key governance position or public service position, or even in a private or corporate environment. You also therefore take some leadership role where you will also be like maybe within 5 to 10 years. Then talking about financing, the person also therefore be to some extent financially independent. And we all know part of this world, if you don't come up from that kind of family, no matter how intelligent today or leadership acumen you get, you also need to be very, very financially stable. With that, they go able to accord you certain level of leadership in governance. Because if that not do the case, I can tell you for free, my brother, you said when you did that role day, because you're young, you have to make sure you secure yourself financially. And by doing that, the temptation will really plenty for making you into corruption. So for me, at the age of 40, I may believe say you go don't get that kind of knowledge, you go don't get that kind of experience, you go don't get that kind of, in fact, even at you party, say the party where they represent, you go don't play key role at that party, they may then go able to nominate you. So that's just my point. So I think 40 is okay, and I believe bringing it down to we're really not for Sierra Leone, this part of Africa. I don't think it will really do justice for the young people then at the same time. Otherwise, people, the young man then will take advantage of that privilege.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. As soon as we young people na the streets of Freetown and across Sierra Leone, then don't give their own perspective about this current issue, where this current position paper where this young man put before Parliament was so much important. If you take a look at the country population, young people for most of in population. So anything we get for do to young people, any issue where they affect young people, nothing we need for be brought up, nothing we forget insightful conversation around. So Barrister, I go allow you let you comment on then Vox is the way we don't listen from the street of Freetown.
Yes, thank you so much. Again, as we already we get diverse opinions, but of course, on the majority, I think when I play more of people, especially the young people, and we support the idea.
Yeah.
See the minimum age requirement for stand for the presidency for be reduced, and that's a good thing by debate. In any debate, we for welcome different perspectives. That itself don't show say the everybody's opinion is respected and there's inclusiveness as part of the debate. But it's about how you they support your position. If you say let them reduce them, why?
Okay.
If you say may them not reduce them, why? We at Behind Bars Brighter Futures, we na a youth-led organization and we work for young people. We say let them reduce the age for stand for presidency as part of the many subjects that we will touch on, because like how you say, not that's no more we submit, but that's one of them. When I mainly we discuss today, and we also discuss in the position paper why we think it will happen so.
Yeah.
The reasons why.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we delve into the paper, I go let you tell me, because the name the organization basically Behind Bars, it rings a bell, definitely. Behind Bars, it reminds your people of something. Say this are possibly they na prison, definitely. So waiting your organization there about fourth, that namely, before we come into the conversation proper.
Exactly. Thank you. That's very important. Very important question. The organization Behind Bars Brighter Futures, we mission now for reduce youth crime, meaning young people and participation in crime,
Okay.
and also the thing the way they make them involved in crime,
Okay.
and also for reduce the justice gap for children and young people, not only youth but children and young people, where they involve in crime. So, and even though the mission we base them on saying that for reduce young people involvement in crime, but for achieve that, you get for come up from many angles.
Okay.
And I make one of the pillars of the organization is prevention. Not only where young person don't enter and where it already commit crime, then we go represent her. That's now one of the things that we do as well, representation, advocacy. But also we get prevention. And for prevent youth crime, education is important for young people. The empowerment is important. Through training, through capacity building, through employment provision and everything, including through the entire way we do so. Advocate for laws where they help them become better.
Okay.
So behind bars, the name, a meaning, a literal but not literal as well. Of course, it mean with the work for the one who already behind bars, literally.
Okay.
And we believe, say, you being behind bars don't mean so you not get a future after that. So now for that we say behind bars, brighter future.
Okay.
But it also can be interpreted contextually. Young people in Africa and in Sierra Leone in particular, many of them are also behind bars, contextually, not literal prison.
Okay.
Behind bars in the sense that then they behind. They are in shackles.
Okay.
Because they're in poverty. Many are in poverty. Many are not capacitated. Many are not educated. So we as an organization, that's with effect.
Okay. Now we go get a clear understanding of the topic. If first, give a legal perspective of waiting the constitution say about the age in terms of vying for the presidency. Waiting the constitution say basically.
Well, for become president in this country, as you rightly say, is spelled out by the supreme law of the land, the highest law, when at the Constitution of Sierra Leone of 1991. There are many requirements therein. One of them is that the individual for don't reach the age of 40. Now that the Constitution say. And also, of course, for be president in this country, although a part of the team that declare for change, you for be qualified for be elected as member of you for be a part of a political party. I think the current constitutional process they also try for change that way. They try for come with independent candidates. But mainly for let you don't attain the age of 40, now a clear non-negotiable requirement. When we they say right now, if will be reduced, when in this process we will try for change the entire constitution holistically. This process, it don't take away start from different government, but we they see say the way they go now, so it gets speed and the high likelihood for make it succeed. And if we they change the constitution once in a very, very, very long time, I think this is a very monumental opportunity where we get for where we champion youth inclusion in leadership in this country.
So tracing back to 1991, when this constitution was established formally, see Salon get the 1991 constitution. So waiting at the rationale we make we leader there at the time think say no, the age for post we want go for president, it should be 40 and not lesser than that.
Yes, I think the question we ask me, they speak to my knowledge for say waiting I think saying the rationale. But since I was not there then, I wasn't even born then. So I cannot specifically tell what in be at the mind of the drafters, except I assume.
Not assumption, historical context could give that.
Well, I go say, like you rightly say, if we look at the history of a country and everything we don't go through, I go mention, for example, the challenges Sierra Leone don't face.
Okay.
We one of them now the brutal war we face in this country.
Yeah.
And why the war in terms of age requirements, it affect we population, it affect we development, it affect the progress speed.
But
so therefore
before the war, the reach at a peak, or before the constitution was established, one of within a salon. So prior to the 1991 constitution, how was Salon like? Given that a lawyer, definitely you will know the historical context of certain constitution.
Okay.
Yeah.
You make a good point. Even before the war, I think the angle way, like how you say, where I go come off from in terms of historical context is the state of the country then, in terms of education and advancement, even before we come to war, might have led to the 40 age requirement, because we go say by then 10 and day, perhaps the number of young people the way they learn now, the rate at which then they learn and not be the learn so.
Yeah.
and you know we'll get as much capable young people then, sometimes the way we go say we get now. And even education, most people na England they go land book. Even lawyers. Up to 1989, will not be even get law school in this country. Up to 1989, will not be get law school. So most people get their education abroad. So you go take and say, well, if the age be there down, not be at all reasonable.
Yes. Okay. So if I can get you right, prior to the 1991 Constitution, advancement, no be the awareness, education,
exactly,
and most
exposure.
of the people away they go learn out and then go don't stay out for some time.
And then go don't mature and big.
Exactly. So that's nice. One thing we for take into consideration, what I go ask you, before you make a position paper or before Parliament call out for the position paper from citizens, government, there was a kind of bill where the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, Alpha Sise, put before Parliament. There was a pre-legislative hearing where he put before Parliament and proposed to Parliament the changes where government get for make or tracing from the Kawan recommendation and now the tripartite recommendation. Then put all lengthen in the, but they not put for that bill. They not put age requirement. So for the government and for the opposition, basically, it was not an issue for age. So why your organization and you as an individual take that responsibility for position that as an issue?
Yes, like I say, it's not difficult. It boils down to what we stand for.
Okay.
We stand for young people. And if anybody for think about the young people, now we the young people, we serve number one. And whether as an individual or an organization, we stand for be a voice for young people, for advocate for young people, for represent young people. So like you are saying, this constitutional review process has started for a very long time. From previous government, in fact.
Exactly.
Up to now with the UTAM. Recommendations have been made through various constitutional review processes and committees, including now, like how you say, stakeholders have sat down, including those who are politically minded in the context of the tripartite committee, and make some recommendations.
Sure.
So we as a young people, we say, okay, well, this stem out, like how you say, from the open invite where Parliament do. Say, whether you're an individual self or any stakeholder, when present position papers and for we in this ongoing process. So we do like how you ask, because we're young people that we support. And now make all the subjects that we touch on.
Yeah.
In that subjects the way they either enhance, protect, or promote the interest of young people.
Yeah. Because I see una mostly talk about legitimacy of young people. That's one. Second, una talk about social issues where they make young people viable in society. But we'll come into that in context. We just get a preamble of the discussion before we reach to the position paper. So now, how this, for example, how this go affect young people? For instance, considering the so many issues that get around young people, issues of drug, issues of unemployment. One go wonder say, but permit me for say this to me via them. But young people are not serious, but most of them are not serious. So take into that context, you don't think say how this go affect young people, and now if this position paper it gets to the right audience, we forget how this go affect young people in life generally if being adopted, for example.
That's a very brilliant question. I think one of the answers to that is the whys, meaning the reasons where we gave in support of our position paper.
Okay.
In terms of this issue.
Yes.
Now, one of the reasons then we gave is that if as a country, as a nation, we can decide, say, for stand for president of this country, make we reduce the age to 35.
Okay.
We believe, say, we as young people go receive that with so much gratitude and respond with responsibility and early preparation for leadership. So this is one of the ways where it go affect young people. Imagine you don't aware now say, my country don't agree say me as a young person, by the time I'm 35, I can even stand for presidency. It means I'm for serious with my life.
Sure.
It means I for begin prepare early.
Exactly.
It means leadership they come on me now very early.
So charge you.
Exactly. It is even a form of motivation for the young people accept civic responsibility and national participation. You see, and that is why also another subject and opposition paper they solve or touch on some of the issues that we raise as to the readiness of young people, and that is the education aspect. We put on the position paper say, say when President Bio's government came, in one of his flagship, if not the flagship programs, now the free quality education,
human capital development.
So as young people and as a youth organization, free education of course touches on young people, children and young people. And we are saying now, put it in the constitution, let it be a justiciable right. Free primary and secondary education, make it be a guaranteed right. Let it not be on policy. Because if the government is run on policy, it is subject to being changed by another government, correct? So, But if it become now a constitutionally guaranteed right, I think it will not be subject to political fluctuations. Sorry for the English.
yeah, it's okay. We go now inside the position paper. Una propose 4 reforms. Una think say if them consider it, it go give rise not only to youth participation in the politics, but also it create a youthful society where go be, as you rightfully said, where go be motivated in going for what they want and in turning it for help the country. So, explain to Fambul and then 14 and the Fambul and why you then 10 and the way una propose.
Okay, thank you. The four areas the way we touch now we position paper. In fact, we take it to be part 1. I think, like you said, there are many issues.
Yeah.
And we are going to have part 2 of our position of a position paper submitted. But for this one, number 1, not this main one we will discuss today, that we are calling on every stakeholder for come on board, calling on Parliament for letting see reason for reduce the presidential requirement from 40, age requirement from 40 to a minimum of 35. And also for put not only the age self, but also for put certain frameworks them at the constitution where they ensure youth inclusion in leadership.
Okay.
Probably we are even thinking maybe we have some quotas in Parliament we forgo to young people and all of those stuffs. That's one. Number 2, now wait till I say just now.
Okay.
That we forget free primary and secondary school education as a guaranteed right now the constitution for be spread out there.
Okay.
And number 3, now for make access to justice, particularly the right for you to have a lawyer represent you when you commit a crime.
Yeah.
As a constitutional guaranteed right. Of course, it in the constitution say when you are arrested, you go be told you have the right to a legal representation. What we try for say is for let the government ensure say every citizen, when especially particularly a crime, when you commit a crime, and you know now say this go touch on the young people the way where also they commit more crime. Everything that young people do and more.
Yeah.
we for let them get let it be constitutionally spelled out right. Say every citizen shall have the right to a legal practitioner provided for by the state. And that's what they say we for one term. Fourthly, we say we touch on anti-corruption.
Yeah.
We say the next constitution we will again at this country. In fact, if we create a whole chapter on corruption, and then starting point was for create a whole chapter. Why? And that chapter, if we start by making corruption the number one enemy problem of the state.
Okay.
And then also, it should be in the constitution, say, it shall be the duty of the state to fight corruption. It's not there. There's no part in the constitution where that is said or stated. And also, for let the constitution, under that chapter already creates for the anti-corruption mechanism, for let them create robust legal frameworks for make sure, say, the ACC really become independent. And we and free from any political suffocation or interference. It doesn't matter who are they in power. And by that we mean like having a committee where them go do appointment and everything, secure the ACC commissioner in a way be say for Poland, they become more difficult. State them into the inside the constitution. Why we do this first four? If you look at these first four issues, say youth inclusion, from there you come to education. From there you come to access to justice. Put it inside the constitution. You shall be provided for. And then from there you come to anti-corruption. You see say, if you make the youth participate more, you have more inclusion.
Yeah.
You have more participation. Education, when at the bedrock of any nation in prosperity and advancement. And then access to justice. People's due process rights are being guaranteed. And then you come to the ACC. The ACC is the last body that will protect every gains that will be made from top to bottom. So, at the conclusion, you see say everything tied together. So this is not the four.
Okay. So you don't talk extensively on the four. I'm not going to say extensively because we have to go deep down, because each one una give una position and una list down why una make them position there.
Exactly.
So now hinging on still the reduction of presidential age and youth inclusion in governance. So now this basically we talk about elections, the involvement of young people, how young people are so important in elections that they get that power for determine who that for be the president of this country. As soon as I mentioned,
I think for address this question, permit me for that go into we argument in favor of that position.
Okay.
Not so because you fall under the
Yeah.
into we overall argument in favor of this youth inclusion. First of all, we're not just a fight for a number or a mere age. The number 35 is not random. And that is why the question you asked earlier was very interesting. Say, even historically, why we forefathers, they don't choose 40. It was not also random. Yeah. They must get a reason. So also, if we say let them reduce it now to 35, not to just number they look at, that number they represent inclusion, that number they represent sense and logic, that number they represent fairness, that number they represent within just. How? Now, first of all, when we say youth, what's the definition of the youth? We go find that definition in the National Youth Commission Act.
Okay.
We define youth as people from 15 to 35 for saloon. In other countries, even less than that. but for Salone, from 15 to 35. And let me look at the logic point, first of all, as to why we say them for reduce the age. In Sierra Leone, you begin for vote when you're 18.
Sure.
You are deemed fit and proper for able to discern who is a good leader at 18.
Yeah.
Way that they can campaign to we.
Yeah.
Give their manifestos, give their speeches, whatever party. Then say at 18, we fit and proper for vote. And for vote, it means you get to make a choice, a decision. We fit and proper for choose a good leader. But at 35, it's not logical for we become one. If I can know a good leader at 18, can't I become, if I can know a good president at 18 for voter, can't I become a president at 35? From that logic. Also, we go to the fairness point of view for this position. Fairness in the sense, you look at UNDP report, you look at UNICEF report, you look at even government own report, it will tell you, say, significant proportion of the population of this country are the youth. Significant proportion of the electorate, meaning those where they vote, are the youth. Sierra Leone is a constitutional republic. We base on democracy. And one of the hallmarks of democracy is the majoritarian rule. And in the majority have the say. If the bulk of the population are youth, people in way up to 35. If the bulk of the one the way they vote now youth, is it not just unreasonable for let them self they among the one then that can be elected as president? That's our argument, that it is reasonable, it is fair, it is just. We get a very senior personality in the country. I believe, say, if I mention something about her, you will know. We known for a slogan, radical inclusion. I believe that the most radical inclusion we can make is to allow the majority of those where they vote for be voted for as president. Another argument we get in support of the age of 35 is in fact the only, like I say, we don't ask people, we don't go on the street. The only or the main argument against them is the issue of maturity, experience. Like you said about the 40, probably historically, that was part of the consideration. Don't make them 40. Because
so again, this go make we ask the question, waiting at the measurement of experience, definitely.
That's the point. Well, that's what I ask to people where they say, no, we need experience, and people at that age may not have the experience, rather. That's their own main argument against this. People at that age may not have the experience, may not have the maturity. Now the question is maturity always defined by age as an absolute yardstick? The answer is no. There are even 25-year-old young people in the world, in Africa, in Sierra Leone, who are even more responsible than some 60-year-old. There are 30-year-old, 35-year-old, we get a sense of purpose. I mean, we know they with anybody. We get a sense of purpose. We know it in the past. Pass something, the one there with them big pass. It's possible. So you're not going to always define maturity and experience based on age. In fact, scientifically, these four parts of the brain, then call them the prefrontal cortex, if science man didn't listen. Now you're responsible for logical reasoning, you're responsible for judgment stuff.
Okay.
Scientists say they develop by 25.
Musa,
Yes.
before we go for break, you now mentioned something very important as well, experimentation. It happen elsewhere. It happen in the most advanced democracies.
Exactly.
We have
models.
A lesser. But again, you look about how informed these citizens or these young people are as compared. So now when I mention South Africa, where they take South Africa and Nigeria basically 18 to 35 years. In the US, even quote in the US 35 years at least. In France 18 years, and so on. And I mention a host of other countries. So do that comparison the way you always experiment that kind of thing. So waiting on a position on that, they basically own the compare using that you are mentioned about informed youthful population.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. If another one go just before you point them out as well brilliantly. We mention international and even regional models for we position on this. Basically, we are saying Sierra Leone will not even be the first country we go reduce or we get 35 as the minimum age requirement for attain the presidency. Sierra Leone will not be the first country in the world or in Africa. In fact, in Africa, there are at least 20 countries by we research we set the minimum age at 35, including Nigeria, including Senegal, including we neighbors, Guinea, Liberia. Do you want to tell me that the problems of Sierra Leone are more complex than that of Nigeria? No. Nigeria of 200 million people. How many numbers of tribes? Very complex country. It was in 2018, it was President Buhari. It was also young people who rose up, say they should be reflected in leadership. The presidential age requirement is at 35. Like I say, at least 20 countries in Africa, Botswana, Kenya, Angola, at least it is at 35. And when we go to the West, of course, even the United States of America, it's set at 35. UK, Canada, and those parliamentary systems, then they come through parliament. And for go through parliament, if you're not 18. So technically, it means you should be 18 before you lead, before you can be a prime minister, if you are choosing to be party leader and you party one. So now, like how you they say, I think the point is why you try for go, you try for say, well, those countries, probably they reduce them to 35 because they get a better informed citizenry. Do we have the same? I think if I see through your question, that's what you're asking.
Exactly.
That's what you're asking.
Question. I'm a question.
So you want to tell me, say, Liberia then get a better informed citizenry pass Sierra Leone? That is not always the case. In fact, Sierra Leoneans have been reputed to be some of the most intelligent people. Some of the most intelligent people. Like what I don't say, they base this on fairness, on democracy, majority, justice, logic-wise, and also even the issue of maturity. From 1991 to now has been 30 years. The rate at which young people, they even get education now, not to that rate them they get them before. Not to that rate the people they develop themselves, they go. So a lot don't change. A lot don't change. So now you get young people and they come out as graduates until by 22, 25, you don't want to graduate. By the time you're 35, it means you don't get 10 years of experience.
Okay. By Samusa, we'll go for a short commercial break as the conversation don't become insightful and also interesting. We'll go for a break and we'll come back.
Orange Maxis gets flexible data and voice plans them we go fit you lifestyle. Try the Colat Mini for just 70 Leon and get 2.5 Mbps speed for 7 days. You can need data anytime. Your bundle they give you fast internet anytime you day. For you can prefer customized plan. Your own bundle they make you select the exact data and voice package where you need. Find the best data and voice option now on Maxit. Download the app and stay connected.
Orange. Mama, this internet no dey gree make I do me homework. It's too slow.
I no want make you worry. Signature Connect don come na salon. Signature Connect wey na fiber internet and microwave coverage e get, dey na salon now. And e come to make the internet problem done takpata. Signature Connect wey dey na number 92 Regent Road Hill Station don come with package dem wey go sweet you. When you connect, you dey get 3 days free trial for both postpaid and prepaid options. Then package and sweet then get 700 for small homes, 900 and then 1,250 for smaller office them and business place them. And say for corporate services them, you dey able use the internet for connect to CCTV camera, laptop and phone and other appliances them where you get na you house or you office. Not forget to Signature Connect dey for all man. Contact them na 072 568 290 or 033 233 620.
Are you tired of missing all your online meetings due to unreliable internet? Or are you paying too much for your internet and experiencing low speeds or even struggling with connectivity during video calls, streaming your favorite football match or show? WorldLink Communications Sierra Leone Limited, authorized reseller of Starlink in Sierra Leone, is here for your businesses and enterprises with super fast, unbeatable and affordable speeds here to cater to your needs. At WorldLink, we provide local support anytime, any day. To know more about our services, visit us at our office at 115 Beach Road, Lumley, or contact us on 080 000 111 or 075 000 111 or on our website at sl.wlnet.com. WorldLink Communications, empowering connectivity in Sierra Leone.
Welcome, viewers and listeners, as we only get, very insightful and interesting conversation. These are the conversations where young people need to know about. Now, I believe, say, if you go to schools, if you go to colleges, universities, anybody we ask, any student or people we ask, basically, it will tell you, say, yes, I want to be president. In fact, everybody wants to be president. That's not just the fact, unless otherwise. So now, as young people, as Sierra Leone is made up of mostly young people. And if you look again, young people are affected by every decision, every issues where they happen in this country. Young people are affected. So in terms of politics, it concerns every young person for no status as young person in terms of politics. So we get a lawyer, we don't take with to, we don't issue a position paper to parliament on the stance about age requirement when it comes to vying for the position of the presidency in this country, the highest position. We constitution say 40 years, as Barrister don't talk, 40 years for young person for vie for the office of the presidency. For member of parliament, it's 21. And for also for vote in an election, like I say, na 18 years. And it don't give reason for that. The conversation still the gone. And one of the things we I go like for ask you is around aside issuing position paper to parliament, because already there is a bill, and in the bill they don't put this age requirement there. There is a bill, they don't put age requirement there. But the office of the Attorney General as well, they do extensive work around the constitutional review process. So whose other effort to not make as an organization for make una concerns go wide and far?
Yes, very important, very, very important question, because it's not just about we sitting somewhere thinking about what's important to we young people. I think what they bring definite reforms and action, a coalition of actors. And this position paper was just deposited to Parliament, the Legislative Department of Parliament, I think yesterday. So we don't get the position first. When we get them, and then we begin take the actions for make sure say it get support by the public, by the young people themselves to the fight for. We're not one of the way media rounds. And of course, we get for continue for do stakeholder engagement. We get plans for meet with serious stakeholder people in the country, individuals, organizations, including the Office of the Attorney General, where you they talk so. Of course, I am aware of what is of the role of the Office of the Attorney General. Very critical. And the current AG we get, as you say, is doing great work. Very hardworking and very brilliant. And we also plan for engage them on this. Engage organizations like the IDEA, way than they do with democracy and good governance promotion, institutions like UNDP or even UNIS. For saying that this with DEPA and many other stakeholders like diplomatic corps. So now that's we'll get plans for all of that.
Okay. So Low ask this question. So if finally this government not take this into consideration, parliament not take this into consideration, or all stakeholders, let's say this not be actualized as una the push, waiting una go say to young people for keep the fire burning and for say with the consistent effort of the young people change go happen in a later day.
That's a very unique perspective. What will happen in the face of failure in anything? You need to know. First of all, let's give a background. Whether in this country today or in the West, they were right. If I believe so, you are also aware, where people can be the faithful with foresight. Where at that time, they'll not be succeed. But they saw with foresight that this was important. And with time, where the country evolve, it did now the laws. At West, including Saloya. So we go say, well, this alone, it not gonna be a waste. If that is the outcome. It don't signal to stakeholders, it go signal to the country, say, if the young people don't begin to talk about this, it means they are not ready.
So definitely, una the push for young people. So how much awareness una don dey raise to young people? See, una know una civic responsibility. Fourth, na go push una for no certain rights, political rights. I mean, so how far una don go with awareness raising, tapping from schools, going to colleges, and tapping to the broader society? How much work una don do around that?
This organization behind bars Brighter Futures is about, I think, a year going to 2 or year and a half old now. But I can tell you, we have been making significant steps. Even in the issue of where young people have become so much involved in drugs, we made robust engagement.
Okay.
We made donations. You know, we did do campaign them. We have been doing a lot, you know. But of course, one thing why I believe, no matter how you popular in this world, not all man go sabi you.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a fact. So don't everybody go no, but it's guys for me you ask. But we have been doing a lot, ranging from advocacy, institutional advocacy, online advocacy is all part of it. Ranging from support, ranging from donations, we have been doing that. And we also, even this year, we just start, we get also plan tours them.
Okay.
And going to school for legal education and capacity building.
So how much you not only work around mentorship and career building or guidance in terms of career for young people? Because as una dey into advocacy, why young person go I walk up to now?
Yes.
Say me na this so I dey go through this na me oath and society. I go wale una mentor me. How much work una don dey do around mentorship and career guidance?
Many. We have first of all, we have a group. We have a WhatsApp group, and I also have a personal mentor. I also have a personal WhatsApp mentorship group. Me as an individual, for alone, I'm not working alone. I'm working with a team. But as an individual, I get those messages almost every week, whether on Facebook, whether on the street. I get them, and I incorporate them in a group we create for that, and that whatever they want, they can reach out. And like even what they say, the other thing we will do is even court representation for young people who cannot afford it.
Okay.
Yes, and we have been doing that as well because the organization, me for one, I'm in the legal profession, and we also get many other people, and we in a legal people. So we get like people that we ready for get out free service, so called pro bono service.
Okay.
So in terms, so you did it now, not only represent you, go talk to you.
Okay.
I mean, advise you. There was another day I take one of my number. I was not even on that case, but other people in me to do the case. But the need for Lady Bobo after he's been freed, for let go to school be arise. So I take the number and then for reach out to Mama later for in terms of making sure say we donate something for let go back to school.
Okay. So finally, as we try for round off, waiting will be final message to Parliament. We want to issue position paper. Final message to young people, and finally, final message to the people of Sierra Leone concerning what we done the push for.
Well, the final message where I get, first of all, is to say thank you. Your Truth Media is contributing to this fight for make sure say the country get the truth on this. And first word now to the young people. We the young people, I think we will accept this and make them we all work and get the belief say, first of all, we can. And also not only get the belief, but take upon ourselves the civic responsibility for really be responsible citizens and young people, and we go contribute to anything we get for do with national development and advancement. And like how you be the say just now, now that way the country go begin for take we serious, say we are ready. And so I'm saying to them, this is for you. You have the right, and also, but you have the burden, you have the responsibility to prove, say, you can. And to the public out there, whether if you they above the youth sector, you might get a brother, you might get a pekin, you might get a cousin. So fighting for any young person, we are fighting for the entire country. And to the stockholders, we are saying this is very, very important. We are reviewing the Constitution once in a blue moon. I think we should not miss this opportunity. It will be a great miss if we miss this opportunity as a country and all the important stakeholders for let we put this into the Constitution. This will be the highest symbolic gesture of belief upon the young people and potential. And also it will be the strongest message of the democracy where we Constitution, freedom, unity, and justice, where we Constitution say that for stand by. It will be the strongest demonstration of justice. And like I say, even the current president where we get, I mean, like I say, he has been campaigning big on human capital development. And I think all of these borders around that. So let now everybody work and let everybody come on board, and this now for we all own national prosperity and an advancement. So now that I get for say.
So thank you very much, Lawyer Musa, and you Kawan has been insightful tonight. I believe the young people that all learn the legal side of young people and go ask and say, when I'm involvement in all of this. Now there is another young person we can't tell you say you even as a young person get the tendency, if you join in the fight, forget to the highest position in society, which is to be the president of the land. So it's very, very important conversation. We don't get and thank you very much for being in the studio. And now we go end the program. One for see plenty thank you to Ivnin Musa Barrister, and also one for see plenty thank you to producers them, David Aspin Solomon, and also Saidu Kagbo. and to the technical team, Ansu, Josh, all of the guys, and to the DJ winner, DJ Muski. Plenty thank you to the viewers and listeners. And stay with Truth Media, and not forget it, Truth Evening, they come on Friday as well. Tata.